Now to the tone of last night's debate, much different from the first time around, right? Both candidates landing blows like these.
In the last 4 years, you cut permits and licenses on federal land and federal waters in half.
Not true, Governor Romney.
So how much did you cut them by?
Not true.
By how much did you cut them by then?
Governor, we have actually produced more oil.
No. How much did you cut licenses and permits on federal land and federal waters?
Governor Romney, here's what we did. There were a whole bunch of oil companies.
No, I had a question, and the question was, how much did you cut them by?
You want me to answer
How much did you cut them by?
I'm happy to answer the question.
All right, and it is?
Here's what happened.
Check out the personal space there. Sabrina Schaeffer, Executive Director of the Independent Women's Forum, and Mr. Purple, Lanny Davis, former special counsel to President Clinton and a Fox News contributor. How are you two doing today?
Great.
I mean, last night made that moment in 2000 with Al Gore and George Bush like they looked like they were like in the sandbox. I mean, Sabrina, these guys came to play last night.
They certainly did.
But the question is whether or not it was effective for those folks there in the middle who are trying to make up their mind. What do you think?
Well, it was definitely a battle over enthusiasm, but or I should say energy, but it should have been a battle over enthusiasm, because that's what it's really coming down to in these final weeks, is not whether these undecideds in the middle liked that kind of hostility, but whether it actually is going to change their vote preference or their level of enthusiasm for one of the candidates.
And what do you think? I mean, did it based on what you saw or not?
I think so. You know, I think that Romney is really, this is such an interesting and sort of shockingly large change from 2008, when Obama was ahead in terms of very enthusiastic voters by 35 points. But now Romney is leading with very enthusiastic voters. So he's obviously doing something right. He's connecting with Republican voters. I mean, I think he is seeing a clear path to the White House in November.
This moment is screaming for a body language expert. Lanny, what do you think?
To watch my body language expert, as I heard my distinguished colleague doing talking points, there is no way that that kind of food fight, hostility, and anger is going to win an independent, undecided voter. The data says exactly the opposite. They're turned off by that kind of conduct. And don't tell me it arouses enthusiasm other than among people in the respective bases. But
well,
you asked the question.
Though, Lanny, right?
No, that isn't the question that we were just asked. Does it affect the undecideds, the independent voter? And the data shows they're turned off by that kind of behavior. They want positive, solution-based answers, not fisticuffs or verbal fisticuffs.
So, Lanny, did you hear that last night? Because a lot of people are hitting on your guy for not providing a vision if he were to win a second term.
My guy, meaning Barack Obama?
Yes.
I don't think Barack Obama did a very good job last night in staying above the fray. He finally, at the end, called Mitt Romney a nice man, a gentleman. I think he can strongly disagree on issues without engaging in the kind of hostile, and so both Romney and he were in a food fight. As a president, he made a mistake? Well, I think both of them sought the lowest common denominator in acting with that kind of anger and hostility, turning off the slice of the electorate that you asked about. He certainly revved up the base, Bill, and did a good job compared to the last time.
That's interesting
but
observation.
Not the middle, not the middle.
Sabrina, I'll let you answer after we watch this exchange here.
Okay.
I don't think anyone really believes that you're a person who's going to be pushing for oil and gas and coal. You'll get your chance in a moment. I'm still speaking.
Well,
and the answer is, I don't believe people think that's the case, because that wasn't a question.
Okay.
That was a statement.
And on we could roll it, especially the first 15 minutes of last night. But Lanny's point is that, yes, you fire up the base if you're President Obama. That's what you did last night, but the middle is turned off by this. How do you see that evaluation?
I think it's important to look at who we mean by the middle. Very often we talk as if there is this broad independent base of about a third of the electorate. But the reality is only about 10% of the electorate are pure independents. The rest of those undecided voters tend to vote with one party or the other, but they don't sort of technically identify with them. So it's not insignificant that both candidates were trying to rev up that base. This is the time to be aggressive. We have an election in less than a month.
Wow. I couldn't disagree more. If the base is going to vote, the 10% will decide the election. You want to ignore it and turn off the 10% to rev up the base. Maybe you increase turnout by doing that, and that's a legitimate tactic. I would disagree. This election is in a dead heat. It's going to be decided which way that 10% swings, and you don't swing them by negative personal attacks.
Lanny, what I hear you saying, and tell me I'm wrong, but I'm saying that I'm hearing that President Obama did not have a good night.
Well, I'm saying both men both men did not have a good night, because instead of engaging in respectful debate, Romney was extreme. Unlike the first debate, where he did a great job in staying above and at a high level, Romney crosses the stage, confronts in the face of Barack Obama, President of the United States. Bad. Barack Obama himself got much too negative, much too personal. I think both of them ignored that. And I agree, that slice of the electorate, 10%.
I disagree. I really do. I think that Romney was extremely strong last night. He hit a lot of important points on energy policy, on workplace regulations, on health care. This was the time to confront the president and say that we have two different visions for the future of America. Yours has failed, and I have a different direction that I want to take this country in. And I don't think undecided voters are so weak that they can't handle that.
The polling data overnight supports my
Hang on, Lanny, 1 second. I'll give you a final word. Stand by. Joe Trippi called it a split decision last night here on Fox. Charles Krauthammer said this was Frazier Ali in a very tough fight. Lanny, last word.
Well, look, the quick overnight polling data shows it was a draw with a slight edge to Obama. Talking about the talking points of a Republican partisan, I understand that you're supporting Barack Obama, you're supporting Mitt Romney, but if you don't understand that the middle of the road 10% is turned off by food fights, you're not looking at the
point you're making. They like it, it's how it changes their vote.
I've got to run. Thank you, Mr. Purple. Thanks to you as well.
Thank you.
Lanny Davis.
Thanks.